I'm James Yoder, and you are watching the Michigan Football Report presented by BetQL. We've got a lot to talk about in today's show, but I did want to start off with a video I put out on Twitter and on Facebook a couple hours back. And so since I knew we were filming a video today, didn't put it out on YouTube because it's just like an iPhone video. Roman Wilson injury rumors hit the Twitter sphere last night and was able to confirm. And I put out the word trying to figure out, and I didn't really hear it back to anybody till early this afternoon. And the things you're seeing on Twitter, from other people at least, kind of false, right? So sounds like Roman Wilson did get banged up, arm-hand injury. I'm not going to disclose exactly what it was until I know for sure. And didn't practice yesterday. But this was not a practice injury like people on Twitter have been speculating. And he probably could play on Saturday, but would risk further injury. So I don't expect it, at least at this time. And if I hear anything differently on Thursday, Friday, or we'll put out a video Saturday morning as well. If I don't hear anything on that, then, folks, then I will we'll kind of stick with this, and we won't expect him to play. I also expect him probably, if he doesn't play this Saturday, won't play after the bye week on the 23rd, 2 weeks from Saturday. Michigan has Northwestern at home. I think they're going to try and keep him out for 3 weeks, let this strained wrist, stress fracture potentially rest for 3 weeks, and have the ability to play against Michigan State on the road on October 30th. So that is the word on Roman Wilson. Let's now jump into our Michigan football mailbag questions. Coming in from Shane Kowalski, 49. He says, you see it on screen here. I'm going to look down and read it on my computer. You think it's time to start McCarthy as he has looked J.J. McCarthy, as he's looked inconsistent but got the job done in the end. I would like to see him play more this week, yada, yada, yada. If the offense is better than him, don't mean to discredit your question, Shane, yada, yada. I just don't think everyone wants to have me read the entire thing. So will J.J. McCarthy have a potential to play more? Will he get the job done if he is the starting quarterback? I can tell you this. I've been watching Michigan football for a long time, right? Longer than my producer, Trace, has been alive. And I will say that 2 of the top 5 throws I've ever seen in the history of the program have been made by J.J. McCarthy this season, right? His 2 touchdown passes to Dalen Baldwin in the first week where he rolled right, had 2 defenders in his face, and threw a ball, 65 yards in the air across his body and hit him in stride. And then just an NFL pro throw on Saturday. I get to Dalen Baldwin, also 56 yards or something like that. Was 50 or so in the air to Baldwin. And he just took 3 or 4 step drop, took one kind of just stepped up and just he literally looked like Aaron Rodgers on that throw. And so I'm excited to see what J.J. McCarthy has when he comes back in the game. I'll ask you you guys this question, then come back to me full screen after this. I want to talk more about J.J., but I'll ask this question here. 5 games into the season, 6 games to go before Ohio State, and then the Ohio State game on November 27th. Who will start that game at quarterback? Obviously, McCarthy has not started a game yet. Cade McNamara is your starting quarterback. But I don't think it's a crazy question because J.J. McCarthy came in the game in the second half, the first drive, and scored the rushing touchdown in a 3-point game that Michigan felt like they were controlling, but it wasn't as big of a gap there. So go down in the comments. Let me know what you think. November 27th, Michigan will host Ohio State in the Big House. Type Cade. If it's Cade McNamara, we'll keep that job. If you think J.J. McCarthy steals it from time to time, don't take into account injuries that we can't predict. Just who will be the starting quarterback end of the year, Cade or J.J. So when I say he's through 2 of the top 5 passes I've seen in my Michigan life as a fan and watching this program, I'm trying to think ones that were just notably better than him. I would probably say Chad Henne probably threw 3 or 4, 2 or 3 to Michigan State multiple times. Michigan State as a true freshman, Michigan State as a senior, 04 in that comeback to Braylon, those jump balls, 2007 as well. Mario Manningham, I think it was Greg Matthews, a touchdown catch. And then, I was really young at the time, but certainly the 4th and 1 pass from Elvis Grbac to Desmond Howard way back in the day was probably the greatest throw in the history of this program. So I think McCarthy should continue to get snaps in real playing time when the game is potentially in doubt, but don't lose a game over it, right? If he's not ready, if he's making errors, make sure we get Cade McNamara in the game. I think McCarthy should maybe get 1 series a half when it's crunch time and see where that goes. Next question coming up from Glenn X, Malcolm's brother. I don't know. People are talking. Do you see Michigan's rushing attack picking up after they slowed down the last couple of weeks against Rutgers and Wisconsin? I think this week's going to tell us a lot. All right. I don't really know what to take from the second half against Rutgers. Michigan didn't do much on the ground that game, and maybe didn't have to do a ton on the ground against Wisconsin. So take a look at the rushing totals. They are stark and wildly different, right? 4 straight games at home to start the year, but 335, 343, 373 against Western, Washington, and Northern Illinois. And they dropped 112 yards against Rutgers, and there really wasn't anything going on at all. I think they probably could have got more yards on the ground against Wisconsin, but the game kind of got out of hand quickly in the third quarter, and it didn't really seem like that was a focus. Pulled the starting running backs, all that good stuff. So Michigan's still number 7 in the country in rushing yards as we stand 5 games into the year. But they have dropped 95 yards per game in average in just 2 weeks. They went into that Rutgers game 2 Saturdays ago, so not 10 days ago, and they were number 1 in the country, over 350, just over 350 a game. Now they've dropped back to 255 yards per game. So I think I'm going to put the number at 200. If they run 200 against Nebraska on Saturday, I'll feel good about them being able to have success against Penn State and Michigan State and Ohio State and even Indiana. If it's in the hundreds or 150, 125 like they did the last 2 weeks, I think there is definitely cause for concern. All right, if you are in the state of Michigan or a handful of other states that are on the website URL you see at the bottom of the screen, chatsports.com/ let's go to the MGM one there, producer Trace. BetQL, MGM, they have a great promotion going on. If you've heard me talk about BetQL in the past, you will know that it is an amazing data analytics and kind of betting prediction service tool app subscription service. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to let you guys wet the beak a little bit so you can go make bets. So it's $15 a month for college, $20 a month for college and NFL, and they've been doing really good. I've been doing really well. But go to chatsports.com/MichiganMGM in the state of Michigan or the other states listed on that website. You put $10 down with BetMGM. You make your first $10 bet. You will get BetQL a year subscription for free. It's a $180 value. I'm going to put it down in the comments. I'll put it down in the description of this video as well. And if you follow what I've been doing, take a look at these bets, right? 4-1 last week in games I've actually put money on this year. I am 4-1 last week, and I'm 10-5 on the season in games I actually bet money. I put these games on my Twitter account every single Sunday morning, so don't act like, oh, you're just picking and choosing. No, these are actual games I have bet on. And the last 2 weeks, I've had really good performance. I think it was 3-2 and then 4-1. I basically followed BetQL's advice. So get BetQL. Go win money at BetMGM. Go to chatsports.com/MichiganMGM to get the MGM $10 offer to get BetQL for 1 year for free. All right, let's keep it rolling. We've got more on the show today, but I'll make sure you guys are reminded to subscribe. As always, we're about 250 subscribers behind Steve D's and the Michigan podcast, who I'm going to, I don't think this, but I've heard some rumors they're buying bot followers, whatever. We're going to do it together for real, so make sure you subscribe if you like what you see. If you love Michigan football, want videos every single day, it's youtube.com/Michigan TV. Terry Heckman coming in with the question on this one. And he basically says, when are we going to be better on first down plays? And I absolutely agree with you. It's always run up the middle for no gain. Every single first down we run up the middle, and it's a wasted play, stretch the defense, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a good point. Because when it's undersized defensive fronts and when it is wearing down teams the second and third quarter, Michigan can get 8 and 9 yard chunks. But when it's against Rutgers, who knows how to play defense, they got a good coach in Greg Schiano. When it's against Wisconsin, who matched you man for man with size, Michigan has struggled. So I'm not a fan of Josh Gattis. I don't think he's a very creative play caller. I think he struggles with sequencing a game. I think you think about football from the perspective of writing a song. How about even doing a show on YouTube is you got to kind of plan out a couple drives in advance. You got to, if I'm going to tell you about BetQL, I might want to toss my bets up there to show you, hey, the service is going good. And Josh Gattis doesn't seem to ever think about, like, wait a second, maybe we should run this way a couple times, get their defense thinking there, getting their guys cheating that way, and then go the other way, right? We see some of that stuff every once in a while, but it's never consistent. I haven't been a fan with Gattis. I really like the hire because it seemed different for Jim Harbaugh, but disastrous first half of 2019, had 4, 5, 6 games down the stretch that the offense was good, but absolutely unforgivable 2020. And until we see the team put up 225 yards in the air and on the ground in a game against an opponent that equals Michigan talent, I don't think Josh Gattis is the man for the job. Noah coming in with this question. He says, are you worried about how Ohio State is looking better this year? And I know it's a good question. I don't really know, so I'm putting to be determined. I'm giving this a B, D, I want to see them play a real opponent, right? They played one real opponent this year, in my opinion, and that was Oregon, and they lost the game. And I think it ended up being 7 points. Probably could have lost that by 2 touchdowns or more. C.J. Stroud, okay, he looked good against Rutgers, and they played good against Akron as a team the week before. But are we forgetting about Tulsa? Are we forgetting about the struggles against Minnesota? So I don't necessarily think that Akron and Rutgers are the barometer for thinking a team is going to go wax the floor with the rest of the Big Ten. But I know what I'm thinking about this one, and it is beat Ohio State again. Just a blinding red picture there that I want you guys to go down in the comments. If you've watched the show in the past, I really was on this subject in 2020, and then the game was canceled. Type BOSA, B-O-S-A. Steal that name from Ohio State. Make it our own. Beat Ohio State again. Light up the comments with that. And if you do, I think Michigan probably could win because we're going to give them all the good energy. David, question coming in. Hey, James. Where's that question at? I think I lost it. Okay. Hey, James. What would you think about a home-and-home uniforms for Michigan and Michigan State game instead of the Michigan-Ohio State game? I think it's a great idea. I think it's a really good idea from the perspective of I'd love to see Michigan do it with a marquee opponent that they play consistently. So it would be actually cool to see maybe Notre Dame as well. If Michigan was interested and Ohio State didn't want to do it for whatever reason, then yeah, absolutely Michigan State. And hell, if both teams want to do it, why not do it there? I think the requirement of having one team wearing white jerseys all the time is ridiculous unless they're kind of similar match colors. All right, one more time on BetQL. Again, chatsports.com/MichiganQL is how to get the deal with them. But I want to throw that BetMGM one up there if we can. Again, Trace, BetMGM is the promotion with BetQL. Chatsports.com/MichiganMGM. You put $10 out on BetMGM at that website in the state of Michigan or a few other states, New Jersey, Colorado, Virginia, etc. You will get the BetQL betting advice service, which you are going to use and you are going to win money. So I'll break it down for you. $10. You put it in there. You make your first $10 bet. BetQL sends you your subscription for free, and then you just start winning, and you take all BetMGM's money. It's a can't miss offer, so go ahead and get rolling. I'll put it down in the comments and the description. All right, another question. Take a look at this one from Drayden. Let's keep this momentum going. I don't want to repeat from the past. We're halfway through the season. They just fold. We have been let down this way for the past 10 years. They start fine, but can't finish it very well. I mean, look, you're preaching to the choir here. Michigan has won September national championships and has had players win September Heisman for the last 20 years, and it's almost to the point where it's a joke. But it's not an easy slate coming up, right? Let's take a look at the next 5 games. After these 5, Michigan then has Maryland on the road, and then Ohio State the last 2 games of the year. But you got 3 big road games against 2 of the top 10 programs of all time on the bookends of that, at Nebraska, and then at Penn State, who's top 5 in the country right now, has a potential to really solidify themselves as a college football playoff frontrunner coming up, playing Iowa on Saturday. Northwestern Michigan should win. Indiana, I actually don't know. I'm not sure if Michael Penix Jr. is going to play or not. We'll see what happens there. But if Michigan can win all 5 of these games, it's going to be wildly exciting of a season coming down the stretch. They'll be 10-0 heading into that Maryland game, and we'll get Ohio State at home. And then who knows? Who knows what will happen with that one? But I will be excited for it. It's all going to start this week on Saturday against Nebraska. But if Michigan loses one of those 5 games, I still think they have potential to have a really good season, as long as, of course, they don't lose to Maryland. So we'll be back tomorrow. I'll have more Michigan football news and rumors. A show on Thursday. We'll have a preview on either Thursday or Friday. Other one will be news and rumors. And then we will have a mailbag Saturday morning. So 3 more videos after today before Michigan and Nebraska Saturday night on ABC in Lincoln, Nebraska. Until then, go Blue.